Okay, so assuming this phone just stays in place and doesn't slide off and I don't have to reposition it and start the recording again. I haven't done like an actual like serious no fap vlog update. I mean, I posted videos here and there, but I haven't done one in a while. I am technically speaking past the eighth month mark, excuse me. But I've written some notes down because there's some stuff I really want to talk about. But ever since I think the past the 7th month mark, it's been sort of this back and forth between being in the danger zone versus being not in the danger zone. Going back and forth, and it's sort of like been this experience of feeling like I'm spiraling downwards towards a relapse, and it's not a good spot to be in. The strange thing is, as I get further along in these nofap streaks, and you get past a point where it's like, what used to be considered an issue is no longer really an issue. It's sort of like, okay, what is going to work on you in terms of like causing you to go back in that basically that bad direction. And I honestly need to be honest with myself, and anybody who's actually watching my my channel, because I know that like compared to some of the other channels, if I were just to look at this from purely a content creator perspective, considering some of the other content I watch, and I'm not talking obviously about anything of like quote unquote sexual nature, but like stuff I watch for entertainment. My channel is pretty boring. It's just me vlogging about my life. Maybe sometime in the future, I get far enough along on Nofap, I get my finances together, I might be able to, start creating some stuff that's actually genuinely entertaining. It doesn't have to do with me just talking about, my feelings or my challenges or setbacks or whatever, or my screw ups, But yeah, as time has gone on, kind of reading off some of my notes here, but as time has gone on, definitions do change, and I put these, questions here. What is hedging? What is a relapse? In the past, depending upon what quote unquote mode I was operating in, edging would be like that I'd literally like gone to a porn site and I'd watched some video or video clips, and either depending upon what mode I was in, easy mode, hard mode, whatever your definitions want to go, are for that. But it would depend on whether or not I'd, engaged in the actual, like you say, PMO. So had I actually engaged in the second part of that cycle, had I or hadn't I, and I kind of be like, okay, well, I watched it, but I didn't actually engage in the physical act, so therefore it's not edging, or I'm trying to segue this from the stuff completely, so that is edging. Or depending upon, like, I might go, okay, this is a hard mode relapse, but it's not an easy mode relapse, or stuff of that nature. And kind of go through my mind. Obviously, like, I'd say that in large part of that is the addict brain kind of rationalize, this is okay, this is not okay, well, you didn't actually do this, so therefore you're in the clear, sort of a deal. But again, as I've gone on, it seems like again, definitions change, and I really need to, like, if I want to be really effective, I need to tighten my standards, of my nofap. And honestly, like, the stuff I'm going through right now, it's kind of like bad timing with regards to my life, because I actually have a series of panel interviews for a potential promotion. It's what it would boil down to, at my work. And it's kind of like new territory. I've never really been on, applying internally and actually getting to move up the chain of command and have doors open up to me. But since I've multiple times gone past the 6-month mark of nofap, and I just I'm basically like in new territory right now. Getting past 8 months where I have not I have not, strictly speaking, viewed pornography or, fap to it, but I've definitely, I've been backsliding. Starting off with like fantasizing, and then essentially trying to find ways to cheat, because like I said, I've been back in the danger zone. It's kind of like edging of a sort, but man, I've had times where I've basically been like skirting the edge. And to be clearer about that, what I mean by that is like basically like, for instance, searching PMO content, but not actually like clicking on the links or going to the image tab or that sort of deal. And of course, I've had the experiences, in tandem with that, as a result of that, of kind of like getting that same sort of rush going, where it's like I'm teasing myself by doing that, and it's just the putting in the search terms and into the search bar, let's say on Google. Again, not seeing the image, not going to the link, but just that act and the thoughts connected with it, leading to that sort of like the firing of that neural pathway, and again that sort of rush. I looked at, you could say it's questionable material. It's almost like looking things up on YouTube that, again, it's not strictly pornographic. Obviously, like one of the things that kind of frustrates me about some of these some of these websites is that or not websites, but these social media sites, is that it's kind of like you get a little bit of a look at my card's shaking a bit. Let it sit there for a bit, the engine idle, but it's kind of like you get to see what gets past their sensors and their filters and such, and it's sort of like things that either border on pornography, or they're imagery taken from what is obviously like a porno, video or film, but it's like taken like in the times in the film before, let's say before the woman in question, after he takes off her clothes or so. And it's like if you've been unfortunate enough, or whatever term you want to use, enough that you've seen those videos and you can recognize, oh, this is from this film or this video or whatever, but it's not like at the point where, like I said, the people involved are actually like, are nude. It's kind of like the questionable material, I'd say, that sort of thing. I've seen that. I've honestly been undoing a lot of progress. I don't know how much per se, but it's kind of like cheating at Nofap, because I'm not strictly looking at pornography or strictly, I definitely have not been engaging in the physical act. So sometimes I say, like, if I'm laying down prone on my bed, obviously the pressure of my body weight can cause, that sensation to, sort of start up. But, it's kind of like I've used the term in the danger zone, or skirting the edge. It's not a good spot to be in, because, obviously this continues. In the past, my experience has been that eventually you get to the point where you're just so incensed, so turned on or fired up, or whatever expression you want to use, that you're just like, screw it, I want this, I want that rush, I want to get it over with. I'm not going to be teasing myself anymore, allow myself to be teased, and I'm just going to do it. And you end up relapsing, and you cross over in that territory. And honestly, like, I said this a bazillion times before, where I've ended up going back to that stuff, but at least my state of mind right now is, even though like I am in that danger zone, I don't want to go back. And obviously, I could rationalize myself into going back, in the future. But as things stand right now, even as bad as they are, like I do not want to, especially with the fact that I got to go back to work tomorrow, and then the first half of the panel interview, which is with the manager and one of the what do you call it? I mean, like I don't want to give out the official titles, but basically one of the almost like right hand persons to the manager in our department, and they're each like half an hour long. Even if things go swimmingly, I may still not get the position, but I at least get back waitlisted for being sort of pushed into more of a leadership position, and which would allow me to get would allow me to not only develop more of an extroverted, sort of socially gregarious set of skills or mentality, but also get exposed to other departments of the company where I could, see myself growing into a sort of deal, furthering my career. And obviously, I don't want to be relapsing. And then tomorrow I'll wake up because I know how it is when I relapse. It's bad enough if I skirt the edge or if I'm in that danger zone. I'm just kind of like I'm dealing with sort of a lesser version of or a lesser form of the effects of actual relapse. Like this, I could probably, I could go home and I could take a cold shower, shock that out of my system, and then, go through the rest of the day, and then eventually fall asleep in the evening, and I could sleep this off, and I could wake up tomorrow and I could feel, like nothing had happened basically. But if I went and relapse, like it screws with my ability to interact with people, to do my work, to be focused. I've had some struggles recently because I've been sort of, spiraling downward. But, because it's kind of like once I start like spiraling downward, or especially if I relapse, it's like I want to withdraw from the outside world and just go hide in a hole, essentially, and just like, not interact with anybody, not even look him in the eye, not talk with him, not deal with people. I just want to like hide away, and that's something I can't do. I'm not in middle school anymore. I'm not in elementary school. I'm not in high school. I'm not in college. I'm not in a place or in life where I can afford to shut myself off from the world and just ride through on that, and daydream and whatnot. I don't have that luxury anymore, and so I cannot afford to be allowing myself to go and relapse. It's bad enough where I'm at right now, but I can't afford to go further than that. And to be honest with you, again, for the further honesty, like considering how things are, a large part of this is because I'm bored. I'm looking for a thrill, because honestly, even with the pandemic being how it's been, if I was really dead set on getting laid with some woman of, whichever demographic I was looking at being interested in, that sort of deal, age range, ethnicity, what have you. My phone's low on power, but I would, if I was really dead set on that, this wasn't just me trying to, get my thrills, get that rush. I would have found a way to it, It's one of those strange things about the, about one's like sex drive as a dude, as a man. It's like if a guy wants to get laid and he's like dead set on it, like, barring unforeseen or external circumstances, like he'll find a way to it. And it's kind of like when certain historical figures have talked about this, but basically like talking about how so much of what we see around us has been built based off of like redirected sexual energy, guys kind of putting that into their work, oftentimes in an attempt to basically like woo some woman, like I'm gonna build myself up and You know, whether that's hitting the gym or it's getting my money right or getting my education right or, you know, building a house or something. You know, it's been like about here's the path, here's the path that I need to take in order to get laid, you know. And you know, nowadays, like if I really wanted to, I suppose I could hop on one of these hookup apps or something of that nature, and assuming I cast my net, you know, wide enough, I could get something. You know, I could get with some woman. It wouldn't necessarily be like, you know, some supermodel looking girl, but if I just wanted to like get laid, you know, I could do that. I think a lot of us honestly could, but it's not really about that. You know, it's the fact that I'm bored. I'm looking for a thrill. And if you're talking about something real, like part of me also still does have that desire for something long term. Call it what you will. Maybe there's that lingering element of my old self that's all about, you know, getting married and, you know, getting after with the missus and, you know, making some babies and, you know, being sort of the head of the household, you know, family man type guy. But yeah, that's where I'm at, and just trying to be honest. I'll have to get a calendar and get that set up in order to like count the number of days. But you know, we're getting up there in days, and you know, it's like I can bounce back from this. It's not an issue of that. But it's also like I need to seek the next level, and that's in regards to Nofap and so many other things. You know, it's not like I can sit here and stagnate. And you know, that goes for whether we're talking about my career, my education, my physique, Nofap itself. You know, stagnation is dangerous, and comfort is dangerous, and leaves you open to all sorts of problems and dangers and such. And you know, it's kind of like in your career, like there's always somebody yapping at your heels. You know, there's always some new person, you know, who's just entered into the arena, and they're just, you know, hungry for what you've got, you know, in terms of like, you know, getting your job, getting your career, getting your money, you know, taking that from you, directly or indirectly, or they just want to like, they want to go to the next level, you know. And so it's like there's always competition, you know. And so I really can't be, you know, okay with just chilling here where I'm at. You know, maybe I need to get out of the house. Maybe I need to push myself out of my comfort zone to actually go pursue some of those things that I've been talking about or thinking about for so long, like, you know, going out to some of these you know, state or national parks, or, you know, traveling around a bit, or getting involved with some sort of clubs, or, you know, something like that. Maybe that's part of it, you know. Because you know, I can tell you that in all likelihood, if I was you know, quote unquote broadcasting from some, you know, cabin out in the woods in some land that I owned, and I built this cabin and, you know, that sort of thing, like in all likelihood, you know, I would not be in the state that I'm in. Even if I had access to a phone or the internet, and I could, you know, look up the same amount of unlimited, you know, pornography or questionable content, you know, that I can look up here. Like I honestly, you know, see myself as not having that sort of pull or that draw to that, because, you know, all I would have to do was just get up, walk out of the cabin through the, you know, the entrance or one of the, you know, the doors, and out into the, you know, the woods, you know, whether with a hiking stick or a rifle or, you know, pack on my back, that sort of thing. And I would have, you know, maybe not literally, but seemingly unlimited adventure out there, you know, especially if it was one of those areas where there had a lot of like interesting natural, you know, formations and that sort of deal. Like I would have more of a pull to get up and out and go out there than sit there and, you know, in the room and be looking at, you know, nude photos or bordering on nude photos, you know, of women. It would just be like, okay, like, why are you gonna do that when you got this, you know, wide open world out here where you can go have real adventures, sort of thing, you know, or if I went out, you know, with a fishing rod to go fishing at some lake or some stream or so, like, I would have not that kind of a pull towards PMO, and maybe that's part of it. Maybe that's part of what I need to do, but that's just me being honest with myself. And when I make it back to my house, to my room, assuming that the shower is free, like I'm jumping in there to take a cold shower. It's just something I have to do. When I'm in these kinds of states of mind, it's kind of like I know I need almost like that ice bucket, you know, to be poured on my head and just to like shock me out of this this state of being, you know, to kind of make me feel alive, I guess you could say. Get that jolt some other way, sort of video. So anyways, that's what I wanted to make this video. I was trying to make it last night, but the cops were out in force in this neighborhood, and like they were literally like they literally stopped some folks like who were just behind this car, like not like right up on my car, but there was a car behind, and I think they had some tire jacks out, and one guy was sitting on the sidewalk, and the other guy was kind of fiddling with something on the car, and you know, the cops had their searchlight on. They, you know, flipped on their, you know, the blue and red lights and pulled over and were questioning him. And you know, it's not like I have any sort of active issue with the cops, but I do get kind of, you know, like, are they gonna like look over here and think I'm up to something and then start harassing me and ask me why? I mean, you know, I got my phone out and why I'm recording, and you know, that sort of deal. Like, am I gonna have that kind of situation? So I just got out of my car, you know, and calmly and slowly walked back to my house. And you know, that's why I wasn't able to record this last night, when I was even more so in the state of mind that I'm in right now. But yeah. Well, one other thing I think to watch out for on YouTube is a lot of those hey, listen to this and you'll have a wet dream sort of video. That's something I forgot to mention, that, you know, it's like talk about questionable content, because so much of it is probably just like, you know, audio taken from some porno, and then they put some music over and they go, well, this isn't actually pornography, you know, which technically it's not, but it's like, you know, it's in that gray zone where you're just like, I probably shouldn't be touching this sort of stuff. But yeah, anyways, I guess that's it for now. Anywho, maybe I'll have some major positive update in the near future, but you know, we'll see how things go. See you folks around. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.